What's up, guys? We're back here taking a look at Crusaders of the Lost Idols. This is a new iPhone game that is soft launched in Canada. Looks like Norwegian and Sweden, possibly. The full list of countries is down below. It's going to be globally launching early next month, early in July. So let's take a look. It is a clicker/idle game. And you'll notice there is a triangle of heroes over here. So you actually get to move and select your heroes and put them in a formation setting. So they gain benefits from having friends and allies next to them. If you click on a hero, you'll notice there's these arrows above them. Some of the heroes, like this hero, will actually buff the heroes behind him. So click on his portrait, you can see his upgrades that you purchased. And so his first one right here is increase the base DPS of Crusaders in the column behind / the Fierce Warrior. So he, like I showed you, buffs everyone behind him. There's also these daily quests, which will allow you to get the premium currency. So you'll notice we have a new daily quest. And it says, level up the dragon 25 times, or to 25, to get 15 rubies or gems there. You also have abilities, and you can give equipment and gear, so there's a lot of cool things in this game. The downside is it is very, very, very grindy, especially early on here. So we've been playing it for about 3 days now, and you get your very first big choke point, big wall, at level 62. 62 is where you have to start actually swapping out these heroes, the original heroes that you start building up, and bringing in new heroes. And you have to level and train the new heroes up, because before you kind of have a good setup. You get the first 10 or so heroes, you build a formation, you're all set up, and then as you start getting up here into like the panda area, and so you start getting up to this hero right here, Sarah the Collector, you really have to start swapping out a lot of your old heroes and putting in new heroes. The big downside that I found with this game is that you don't actually farm gold while you're offline. So I don't know if this is a soft launch thing or if this is just a bug or whatnot, but you do not farm gold. So you'll see we're farming gold and they're constantly moving forward nonstop, and the enemies are moving forward to us. If we move up a stage and we fight stronger enemies, the enemies will get closer to us and actually start damaging our heroes. So yeah, you're farming gold, you're building your heroes up, leveling them up. But when you're offline, you don't actually farm gold. The only thing that you do is you go ahead and you build up these, XP on your heroes. So every 5 hours, they'll level up 1 XP point, and the XP point is going to give you 100% DPS. This is pretty good, but it tapers off as you start leveling it up, multiple times. So after 10 times, you're not getting nearly as much bonus XP as you did the first couple times. It's just not as efficient enough. You'll notice that the guys are now getting a little bit closer to us. We're going forward and we're collecting these pieces of ore, it looks like, obsidian shards, and there's little story and quest things as you progress through the game. So it's kind of interesting there. Most clicker idle games don't have a story or any real reason to move forward. In this game, it gives you mini quests. You're also given treasure chests once you beat the bosses every 5 levels. In the treasure chests have these really cool buffs that you can do. They're one-time buffs, and so you'll see there's some here that speed the clock up. So gold multipliers, you've got power boosts, you've got spawn speed buffs, you've got accuracy for critical clicks, you've got just clicking damage bonus, you've got just pure raw DPS. And then you can also buff up watch short ad to double your DPS for 4 hours. So tons and tons of buffs. It gives you a lot more playability. But again, the big downside is that when you're offline, you're not collecting any gold. So your heroes will eventually get stronger. 5 hours, they'll gain 100% more DPS. But once you get to that 7, 8, 9 levels, they're not really going to gain that much. It's because it's off of your base value. It's not double. So if he starts off with 5,000. He's going to get 5,000 for level 1, so he's going to jump up to 10,000. At level 2, he's going to get 5,000 more, which is going to jump up to 15,000. And then all the way up at level 10, he's going to jump up to a total of 50,000 DPS. You're constantly adding 5,000 more DPS. You'll notice that the heroes are almost taking damage. They're getting really, really close to these enemies here, and they do spawn out at different intervals. So you see sometimes 2 at a time, some are a little bit faster. You can find treasure chests in here. And now we got 3 monsters, 3 little birdies that came out there, and that stone golem is very slow, and the birdies almost caught up to us, and we're chopping those guys down. You physically get to see your heroes actually attack when the guys get up to you, and you know, you're fighting. There's some heroes that will do magic and like heal your heroes in front, so tons of different combinations. And if you move your heroes around, you'll see your DPS will change dramatically. So we move that hero around. He's now buffing these two, and now the DPS gauge changed pretty significantly. So different formations will do different amount of things, and you can see we're getting attacked now, and we haven't killed them, so we are running out, and our guys are slowly slashing the swords away. We're going to end up dying as we're getting overthrown by all these enemies coming into us. So at this point, our DPS has gone down a lot because each hero has his own individual DPS meter. Once they die, you're losing DPS, so you kind of, you know, lost the battle here, and now it's going to push us 1 stage back so we can farm more gold to level up our heroes. Same general principle they have of upgrades every 25 levels, it looks like. You'll be able to upgrade your heroes, gain more DPS. So pretty standard stuff right there for idle clicking games. And let's take a look at some of the powers here. So we've unlocked 3 of the powers so far, and there's the treasure chest box, so you definitely want to make sure that you get the treasure chest box. We've unlocked 3 of the powers. The power tab is this second tab right here with this sword icon. We've actually unlocked 4. The first one is the standard time. I click 10 times. This one right here will double up the power of your next skill that you use. And then we have this third one, which is dropping a big fireball. You'll notice the first skill is not active because when you take out certain heroes that have that power, you can no longer use that power. So we don't have the clicking hero on here at all, which means we don't have the power to use that click storm. We're going to go and drop a fireball and everything, so we did a massive amount of damage. This fourth one right here, you click on it and it'll say it increases your critical click chance by 50% for 30 seconds. So again, it's a clicking ability. You're also going to equip special rings, amulets, horns, you know, gold bonuses, tons of different things that you can find in the treasure chest. You can either get treasure chests by killing bosses every 5 levels. You only get the treasure chest once, not if you go back and farm the same boss over and over again. You have to kill the boss, you know, the first time to get a treasure chest. Or you can buy them with your gems or with real money in the cash shop here. And these things will give you a ton of buffs. You'll see also free buffs and things like here. So, yeah, overall, very cool. We haven't got to the talents yet. This is probably going to be something for Ascensions. Again, about 3 days here. Nowhere near ascending whatsoever. We haven't even got the hero that has the ability to do an ascension. But overall, it's a fun game. And the formations are really cool. So definitely check it out. You can check it out early next month globally. Or if you want to check it out early, start off, download it in the Canadian, I believe Swedish, Norwegian iTunes store. Thanks for watching, guys.